When I was in school, I was a very timid version of the person you see today. I was Shayan.
In school, I tried to be funny, I was loud, and I was attention seeking. Also, I had a big ass.
I think I was a fat, insecure nobody. I think it started back when I was 7 or 8, but I only realized it when I was probably 13 because I suddenly realized that when people were saying things to me, to my face, and people were laughing, it wasn't a joke that they were laughing at, it was me.
There are two phases to this. One was between the 6th and the 10th or 11th grade where I was bullied. Then the phase after that where I joined them and I became the bully also.
My family and I moved from Shillong to Mumbai when I was about 12 years old. As soon as I moved to my new school in Mumbai, I think I had my first experience. So I think I was bullied a lot because I was a bit of a chubby kid growing up. A lot of people made fun of my weight and my body. That kind of had a profound impact on me, I think. Something that persists till today.
I've been bullied by juniors, I've been bullied by seniors, I've been bullied by my own batch.
I was called gay, I was called faggot, I was called a chubster. One kid actually called me a hermaphrodite. I didn't even know what a hermaphrodite was because I was in the 7th standard.
So in school, there would be gangs. So at a time, probably 10, 15 would be hanging out. If you were hanging out with them, they would put you through this, which was, they would all look at each other and before you know it, in 3-4 seconds, they have grabbed one person. If you were lucky, you were not the grabby. If it was your unlucky day, then you were the grabby. They would like pin you down and they would slowly take off your pants, basically reveal your pee-pee to everyone else and point at it and laugh and shit. At times, they would even try and play with it, which was weird. We would all laugh about it. Even the person who's been grabbed, there's no point fighting this. Unless you are like the Hulk or something, you really can't fight a group of 10 boys who have done this. Yeah, that's probably one of the most humiliating things that you can go through.
I had this older guy living in my building who I was pretty good friends with. We were going back up on the elevator and he copped a feel of my chest and he said, "Nice boobs." And after that, he just walked off. Nobody really noticed it except me. For the first time in my life, I felt really conscious of the way I looked, and that was at the age of 12 or 13. I think I started dressing differently because of that. My posture changed. Started wearing a lot of baggy clothes so that it wouldn't be that apparent.
Back when I was in the 8th grade, I was walking down this corridor. The main school bully walks up to me and he stands right in front of me. And he looks at me and he's like, "Anirudh, what are you doing? You got in the way of my girlfriend." And she was standing right next to him. I didn't even see her because I was looking at the floor and walking down the corridor like I always do because that's the easiest thing to do because you don't want to be seen. I look at the two of them without making eye contact again and I say, "I'm sorry." He says, "But sorry won't work." So he pushes me against the school corridor wall. He turns to me and he says, "I'll look into this later, but you can go for now."
So now that I had passed this archaic rite of passage, I was part of the institution. And then I slowly started becoming a bully.
It was such a normal thing to do, teasing someone about the way their body looked. I knew a guy, he'd kind of walk around with his hands in front of his chest on the ready just to stop anybody who was trying to like cop a feel of his chest.
Kids in college, they wouldn't say rude things to me into my face. There was this moment every couple of days that would happen when I would walk by a corridor. A group of boys usually, as I would pass by, they would say, "Oh, Anirudh, cricket khelega kya?" That's the thing, right? It doesn't sound like it's an instance of bullying, but their implication that I could not play cricket, which I can't, implied that probably I was not as masculine as they were.
That process of getting bullied in the initial phases hardened me up so much that I would start doing that to people. Just casually insulting people who are below you on hierarchy in front of other people and consistently doing it and laughing about it. These became a part of who I was slowly. It's taken me a while to change that way of thinking.
When I walk past a group of people who are laughing as I go past them, I feel uncomfortable because at the back of my head I'm assuming that they're talking about me. I've grown to kind of be very cynical about people. It gave me a lot of social anxiety.
Just being in a room filled with men gives me a lot of anxiety. One of the ironically positive things that happened because of the bullying was that I would reach school dot on time so that I don't have to go through all this, and I would also leave school dot on time. That is something that I do even now. I'm just like super punctual. Just it's funny how that happened.
I am still really conscious about the way I look, even if people think I don't look fat. Like sometimes I just wake up thinking like I look super fat today, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
If you are someone who's being bullied, it's not your fault. There's no burden on you to do anything about it. You need to tell people who love you to do something about it.
Kids who are being bullied have signs that can go from just being quiet to falling sick repeatedly. If in case you notice any sign that the child is not the truest version of themselves, I feel that you don't need to wait for them to come speak to you.
I never had that conversation with my parents, but the effects of not discussing that with somebody at that age and internalizing the problem has had a long-lasting effect on me. I mean, if I was a parent, I would like talk to these things about my kid, even if it wasn't affecting them, at least so that they would be aware of it and know that it's not acceptable. Because kids don't know what to say. They usually don't know how to express themselves.
Having fun at the expense of someone else's peace of mind is not fun, man. It's not fun. You may not feel it now, but you will soon realize it and it will haunt you.